Hinduism. Hinduism is the world's oldest surviving religion, with most historians believing it has existed since prehistoric time. Hinduism is now a collection of practices belonging to several different religious groups that developed in ancient India. It is also an entire culture based on many customs and ideas about faith. The first subheading is beliefs. People who practice Hinduism are Hindus. They believe in the idea of Brahma, a divine force present in all things. Hindus often worship one or several gods. Hinduism's many individual gods are said to represent the eternal or ongoing force. The main goal for most Hindus is for their soul, the Atman, to be one with Brahman. If they do this, they will achieve moksha, the highest level of existence. Moksha is a state of inner peace and spiritual awareness. Hindus also believe it is freedom from samsara, a cycle of birth, death, and reincarnation. Reincarnation involves a person's atma being reborn into a new body. Hindus believe a person's karma or life force determines what kind of rebirth he or she experiences. If a person is selfless and performs good works, he or she is said to have good karma. Hindus believe these individuals are rewarded by being reborn into a life that brings them closer to moksha. In contrast, a person who is evil or lack morality are believed to have bad karma. They may be reincarnated as animals, making it harder for them to break the cycle of rebirth. Being reincarnated as an animal is much less desirable than being reincarnated as a human. Dharma. Another important feature of Hinduism is dharma. This power gives order to the cosmos or universe and is driven by everyone following particular rules and customs. Through this, Hindus fulfill their individual responsibilities. Combining cultures. The exact history of Hinduism is complicated because it does not track back to a single founder. Historians believe Hinduism formed in the Indus River Valley across present-day Pakistan and India. Around 1500 BCE, members of the Aryan culture traveled from Asia to the Indus Valley and introduced the Vedic religion. Between 1500 BCE and 1000 BCE, they wrote the Vedas in an ancient language called Sanskrit. They were later embraced by Hindus, so they are considered the earliest scriptures or holy texts. They contained myths, prayers, and religious songs and poems related to samsara, karma, and dharma. People living in the Indus Valley created the Upanishads around 700 BEC. They are sometimes called the final chapters of the Vedas. They dealt with topics like Brahma, Atman, and Moksha. A lot of the Vedic religion remains a mystery, but it is likely that Hinduism grew as Vedic beliefs blended with those of earlier Indus Valley cultures. Prakriti. The idea of Prakriti started influencing the growth of Hinduism in the Indus Valley between 500 BCE and 500 CE. Bhakti is the belief that devotion or displays of religious loyalty will help people achieve their faith goals. Hindus were inspired to build elaborate temples or houses of worship all across the Indian subcontinent. A series of emperors ruled over this entire area until the 6th century. Around 550, most of India was divided into many smaller kingdoms. Separate forms of Hinduism began taking shape as a result. They had some of the same basic beliefs, but individual kingdoms often focused on different gods, like Vishnu and Shiva. Influences. Merchants and traders helped spread Hinduism throughout Southeast Asia as time passed. Outside cultures impacted the religion's development in India. Muslims, members of the Islamic faith, and European forces controlled much of the Indian subcontinent from the 15th century. As a result, Hinduism reached parts of Asia, Africa, and Europe. Hindus struggled to continue practicing their faith in some cases, though, experiencing persecution or poor treatment and pressure to convert to Islam or Christianity. Hinduism became a stronger feature of Indian nationalism or national pride in the 19th century, but tensions between Muslim and Hindu populations were common. Great Britain divided India into two separate nations, India and Pakistan, in 1947. Many Muslims and Hindus relocated. Both India and Pakistan gained independence from Great Britain in the late 1940s. The decades that followed were filled with unrest. The development of new governments and disagreements over Indian-Pakistani borders led to religious persecution. Some Hindus moved to Europe and North America, where they built temples in their new homes and educated people about their faith. Today, about 1 billion men, women, and children practice Hinduism today, around 15% of the world's population. It is the world's third largest religion. More than 99% of Hindus live in Asian nations on or near the Indian Ocean. About 94% live in India, around 2% in Nepal, and around 1% in Bangladesh. The rest of the Hindu population is scattered across the globe in North America, the Middle East, North Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, and Europe. Hindus have the shared beliefs of Brahma, Atman, Karma, Dharma, Samsara, and Moksha. However, many believe in different pathways to spiritual truth. There are many Hindu sects, with the four major ones: Vaishnavism, Shaivism, Shaktism, and Smartism. Vaishnavism. Hindus believe Vishnu, the supreme god in Vaishnavism. They think every so often Vishnu takes physical forms called avatars. Two of his most famous avatars are Krishna and Rama. Vishnu is shown as having 4 arms and a blue skin in art. Vaishnavites, members of the Vaishnavism, describe Vishnu as wise, majestic, independent, and extremely strong. They also see Vishnu as a personal being. They believe through devotion it is possible to develop a loving relationship with him. Shaivism. Shiva is worshipped as the main or only god by members of Shaivism. They believe he is a passionate and powerful being who occasionally destroys the universe. Shaivites think this paves the way for the creation of a more perfect world. Shiva is often portrayed with a blue face and throat and cobra necklace. This god is thought to have a third eye that is a symbol of wisdom. Shaktism. Hindus worship the Hindu goddess Shakti in Shaktism. It is thought that Shakti takes many forms and names, including Devi, Uma, Parvati, Ambika, Kali, Durga, and Lakshmi. Shakti is sometimes shown holding flowers and appears to be sensitive and compassionate. Shakti is shown fiercer in other art. Some images feature the Hindu goddess riding a tiger, devouring demons, or wearing a necklace of skulls. For many Shaktas, followers of Shaktism, Shakti represents great power and strength. Shaktas often perform a variety of rituals in hopes of summoning mystical forces. Smartism. Hindus who practice Smartism are called Smartas. They worship 5 main gods and goddesses: Vishnu, Shiva, Shakti, Ganesh, and Surya. Hindus believe Ganesh is an elephant-headed god who removes obstacles from his followers' paths. Surya, the sun god, is shown having 3 eyes and 4 arms. He often appears in a chariot drawn by 7 horses. Surya is viewed as a divine healer who brings people good fortune. Worship. Hindus have many unique ways of expressing their faith. Hindu clergy is made up of priests, monks, and spiritual teachers called gurus. Specific religious practices vary depending on the sect. Worship, puja, takes place in temples, mandirs, and homes, typically in front of a religious icon. Hindus often make offerings of incense, water, flowers, and fruit to the gods. Mantras, sounds, words, or phrases are said once or several times during prayer and meditation. Meditation is a mental exercise involving quiet thought and reflection. Hindus meditate and perform rituals like yoga to achieve inner peace and spiritual awareness. Hindus sometimes go on pilgrimages or religious journeys to holy sites. They often travel to rivers to participate in ritual bathing. Pilgrims believe that entering the water washes away their sins and help them regain purity. The Ganges River in northern India is especially sacred to Hindus. For the second video and the rest of the reading and the questions.